What would you do for 30 Tanba? As one of the 10 stone hearts, Aventurine, real name Kakavasha, is poised to become one of the recurring antagonists in Honkai's Star Rail. But what do we know about him? What are the cultural inspirations for his story, and what is his end goal? Part 1. The Story of Aventurine. Hailing from Sigonia-IV, more specifically the barren desert known as Gaiathra birth, Aventurine, true name Kakavasha, belonged to a tribe known as Avgin. Originally, Sigonia culture was united in the distant past, but something happened, and they later fragmented into many different groups, which fought each other for survival. Among the people of Sigonia, there exist many different stereotypes for each group, with the Avgin being stereotyped as having brains, while the Kataka, the rival tribe to the Avgin, was stereotyped as brutes. Note here that the wording in the game itself told us that those are stereotypes a game, not the truth, and harmful stereotypes at that, as we will see later on in the story. On the cultural side, the Avgin believes in a mother goddess called Gaiathra Triclops, also known as Fenge Bios, who reigns over all matters related to fertility, travels, and trickery. It is unknown if Gaiathra Triclops is an incarnation of an actual Aeon or not, but she has some overlapping traits with Zype and Aina. Depictions of the mother goddess in the Avgin's religion often portray her as a left palm adorned with 3 eyes, while Zype is the 3-headed goddess with 3 eyes and multiple incarnations, as can be seen in a hymn of Charmonic strings, where the listed incarnations are Dominicus, Constantina, Elenev, and Beatrice. In addition, the Avgin believe that Gaiathra Triclops is the mountain and the rain. All that exists on the land are a part of the mother goddess' divine body. And at the end of each calendar year, her divine body will perish. On that significant day, her divine essence ascends as a resplendent aurora in the night sky and is reborn in the following day. Hence, Avgins celebrate the first day of the new year through their grand festival called Kakava. During this festival, they weave sacrificial vessels known as knots of cyclicality and toss them into bonfires to commemorate the great goddess' birth. The Avgin believe that after death, they themselves will enter the cycle of reincarnation or samsara. In the night of Kakava, like Gaiathra Triclops, rain is a gift from the mother goddess. She is calling to us, urging us to take up arms and fight for our future. This rain accompanies us. This rain protects us. It is in this rain that we shall meet our honorable demise. Note that this has striking similarity to how the family resurrects Zype's incarnations through the Charmony festival in a cyclical manner, and also similar to how the Oak family intended to resurrect Aina in the Penacony plot. It's also noteworthy that Aventurine's eyes are similar in color to Aina's puppets in the 2.2 Trailblazer quest, and Zype's eye colors are a reverse of Aina's. Ultimately, we don't have enough evidence to say for certain that the Gaiathra Triclops the Avgin worshipped are an incarnation of Zype or Aina, but that is a distinct possibility and might explain why Aventurine could lie to Sundate even under the combined influence of harmony and order. In any case, the situation on Sigonia-IV became complicated when Oswaldo Schneider, the head of the marketing department of the IPC, engaged with the world and established the Sigonia Sovereign, which was a proxy organization propped up by the IPC to take control of Sigonia. Aventurine's clan, the Avgin, tried many times to oppose this takeover. As a result, through the Sigonia Sovereign, Oswaldo Schneider orchestrated the exile of the Avgin and the Kataka. Of course, like any evil villain, Oswaldo Schneider did not stop there in his quest to enslave Sigonia. It is heavily implied that he was also the architect behind the death of Kakavasha's clan, taking advantage of the pre-existing conflict between the Avgin and the Kataka to sow further discord. It was around this time that Kakavasha's father died to the quicksand while going into Kadikan territory to prepare for the offering in the Kakava festival. Shortly after, his mother died, with the siblings witnessing their deaths. To avenge for their parents' death and influenced by the Avgin's belief about Gaiathra Triclops and reincarnation, Kakavasha's sister was subsequently tricked by the men in black descended from the sky, who were very likely to be Oswaldo Schneider's marketing department. She believed that they could set up a trap for the Kataka in the Kakava's festival, and the men in black would come to help them fight against the Kataka. She said her goodbye to Kakavasha and told him to run and never look back. That night would eventually be the second Avgin extinction event. With the death of the only obstacle, the IPC presumably completely took over Sigonia. After the death of his family, Kakavasha was sold into slavery for 60 tanba, again by the Men in Black. His master was a cruel man who forced him to gamble to survive. He threw Kakavasha and 34 other slaves into a maze and forced them to kill each other for survival.
But I believe a chip is worth a miracle. It's all or nothing now. The dice are cast. Ladies and gentlemen, ready to unveil your cards? The architect's flawed stone. Of no value at all. I'm putting down the bet. I'm taking the gamble. I'm claiming the win. I'll invade spin the wheel, a daring gamble. Walking the brink of death for rebirth. It's all or nothing! Everybody's like that, down to the last player. So why can't I be happy too? Why can't I feel that free?
Needless to say, this event has had strong impact and left long-lasting trauma to Aventurine, for even in the present, Aventurine continued to use himself as a gambling chip and constantly tell himself that it's all or nothing, just like how the first slaver treated him in the past. It is not known what happened afterwards.
As a servant, you should not resist your master. Yet, you went and killed that man anyway.
But presumably, he managed to escape at one point. He wandered alone, struggling to survive, enacting many schemes to extract his revenge against the IPC as a whole. First, he deceived the marketing department. Yes, that was the department that Oswaldo Schneider led, the same one that killed his entire family, to waste a huge amount of fund extracting a non-existent energy source in Sigonia. Then, he led the Intelligentsia Guild, which is a subsidiary of the IPC via funding, and presumably, the previous Aventurine, on a wild goose chase for the remains of Tazi on Ejihatsu, which turned out to be a setup so that Kakavasha could meet Diamond and bargain for his freedom. However, his gamble for true freedom, the cost of 30 tanba, was rejected by Jade. From that day on, Kakavasha donned the gilded cage called Aventurine the Stoneheart, replacing the old, rusted shackles with new golden leashes. Out from one slavery into another, perpetually seeking for freedom. Now, it is rather well known that Aventurine as a character is inspired by the Roma culture. But how inspired?